to hit record. Oh, all right, man. It is Sunday, man, and I've had a busy week. Busy week. Jonathan, what's up? Lewis, what's up? Alex, what's up? Willie Love, what's going on? Thanks for joining on the call. Crystal's first time in the call. Congratulations. Welcome here. Of course, my man Dave, Mr. Sleepless Night himself.
Yeah, can I say something real quick?
Oh my gosh.
You're right, you called. So when you said my name, I was like, oh crap, he wants me to say something.
What's up?
Here's the thing. What we're doing in our program, obviously, everybody on this call gets access to that morning. But from Monday, I don't even tell you. I don't think from tomorrow.
Hold on, Dave. Hold on one second. I'm sorry. Let me mute everybody because I didn't mute everybody. Now I'm mute.
Got it.
All right. So yeah. So from Monday to Friday, we're all taking this challenge of going 100% plant-based.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
5 days, baby.
I'm good.
I know. Yeah, I mean, but then you got to be a real vegan because you like 85%. But this one, not for the diet, but for the discipline. And I think there's two reasons people don't succeed. One, bad judgment, lack of good judgment, and either on the part of education, or you just don't know, or you're ignorant, or you're stubborn, whatever it is. But bad judgment, a lack of discipline.
Very true. Very true. Yeah. That's dope. So that's the challenge. Starting Monday. Starting tomorrow.
I believe all success starts with discipline, and we as a group of people, entrepreneurs, we very rarely get to test our own discipline level. Yeah. So it's going down. I'll give y'all the call link. Y'all can join after this call at 8. We got a doctor coming on. He's like a holistic doctor type. He's really dope. So yeah, it's going down.
That's what's up. Discipline is definitely a big part of it. That's why, if you guys haven't heard, I always say, man, start off with just making your bed, making a promise to yourself that you make your bed every single morning, with little small things like that that'll help you discipline yourself to complete tasks, to start tasks, and to finish them. So really cool. Yeah, so we're getting ready to get this thing started. I want to two things before we bring on my guest here to help us out, who is far more advanced in the field that he's going to be talking about than I am. But real quick, I want to talk about, well, first of all, let me ask, what's going on, Caleb? I want to ask everybody, Terrence was good, Sean was good. I want to ask everybody how they did with the RIA challenge. Remember last Sunday, I said you guys had 7 days to find, go ahead and put it in the chat. You had 7 days to find a RIA and get their information and at least try to attend if they weren't able to attend, because every RIA, does a different schedule. But at least find one, notify one, and try to get one as best as possible. Put it in the chat if you went ahead and did that. If you went ahead and did that, put it in the chat. And let me see who is actually disciplined enough to do something as simple as go on to, let me just show you real quick how easy this is. Go on to Meetup, like we talked about. I just enrolled into another one here. This one is, if it stops flaring out, let's say it's a one for apartment buildings, I think. Where is it at? Yeah, Apartment Investors Mastery here in Atlanta, all right? This is really easy. So if you guys didn't do this, like honestly, like for real, if you didn't do that, if you didn't download the app Meetup, that's free, don't cost you anything. If you didn't take the 2 seconds to look up a RIA that would automatically populate for you once you type in real estate, like you really don't even have to look for it. You just got to type in real estate. If you didn't do that, you got to start to ask yourself, okay, am I playing around with this thing or am I serious? Do I really want to be a real estate professional? Like, because that's really simple. So if I don't see everybody on this call that heard about that putting something into the chat, then you have to ask yourself whether or not you're serious about being a real estate investor. I mean, it has to be a real, like you really need to sit down and have a real conversation with yourself and say, am I playing with this thing, or am I serious? Am I really trying to change my life, or is this something I'm saying, right? Because it's free, it's easy. It's not only is it simple, but it's simple and easy. There's some things that are simple that aren't easy, but this is simple and easy. So if you're not doing that, if you're not taking that initiative, stop playing with yourself. Stop playing around. Like, literally, that's why we have no contracts in this course. Because I don't care whether or not how many people are in the course. I care about the quality of the people that are actually doing it and taking action in the course. So it's a question that you really need to ask yourself. The other thing is who you're surrounding yourself with, and who's motivating you, who's teaching you. That's dope. I appreciate that, David. Who's teaching you? So me and Dave, we took a trip on last Wednesday. We took a trip out to meet my boy Max, and I was literally just on the phone with him we had like a brainstorming session for about 45 minutes to an hour as I was driving back here. Dude is like, I know you guys see the real estate side of him, but the other side of him that you guys don't get a chance to see is an animal, right? A complete animal. Like he's on a completely different level. And so we're having this conversation where we're passing ideas around to each other. And I'm throwing things out there. He's throwing stuff back. I'm throwing things out there. He's throwing stuff back. And at the end of it, we have an idea for a service that's absolutely free. That's absolutely free. And it's going to be able to change a lot of people's lives, help them out, but also help create a community and also at the same time earn money, right? And so it's free, but it's going to earn some money on the back end, right? And so what I really challenge this group, the people that are on the phone right now, the 19 people we got on the call right now, what I challenge you guys is to be more active in our Facebook group, or if you don't want to do that, reach out to someone in the Facebook group and you guys start to connect. You guys start like the next real estate guru could literally come from these now 20 people that are on this call. Right? There's no reason why we can't have brainstorming sessions outside of the Sunday and Wednesday calls. Okay? We have this opportunity where we have people right here that are like-minded, that are smart. Most of you guys are smarter than I am. I promise you, most of you guys are smarter than I am. Okay? You're just not taking the action. You don't believe in yourself, right? You don't believe in yourself enough to say, you know what? I'm going to start my own little mastermind group, and we're going to get together and we're going to start coming up with these ideas to number one, help people, but also number two, help my family or help your family, right? Get with people, surround yourself around people that are better than you, that are helping you grow, right? That are going to challenge you. Like Dave, me and Dave joke around all the time, but Dave challenges the way I think, right? My friend, my boy Sean, he challenges the way I think, right? We just don't stay stuck in one box, okay? Make sure you guys are surrounding yourself around people that are doing that. Because, I mean, I'm telling you, it's the benefits of it are phenomenal, right? All right, so I'm gonna stop rambling on because that really right there, I mean, you can apply that to wholesaling, you can apply it to tech, you can apply it to whatever, right? It doesn't matter. What's going on, Kiana? And yeah, there's two Kianas, Kiana and Kiana. One's with a Q, one's with a K. That's cute. So listen, we're gonna go get into this thing right now, man. Number one, once again, thanks for getting on the call. I wanted to bring something different, man. The last meetup, we had a gentleman that approached me. Actually, it was his partner that came up to me, his business partner, and was telling me how they were doing their wholesaling business. Excuse me, and that they were driving a lot of leads in through tech and streamlining things through tech, things that I don't really do. Like I'm still very much, what's going on, Cedric? I'm still very much low tech, I guess, if you will. I'm still input stuff in spreadsheets and call manually and those type of things, right? So I was really fascinated by this guy because number one, he was using words I can't spell, and things that he was implementing in his own business, I hadn't put in my business yet, right? And so it's helping them out. So I felt like it would be of value to our community for him to come on and kind of give us a little show and tell of how he runs his business. What's up, D? How he runs his business and what they're doing to drive customers to them. So without further ado, I'm gonna unmute you, my man, Eric Richner. Eric Richner, where you up there? There you go, buddy.
Hey, I'm here. Hey, everybody, how's it going?
Good, man. Good, man. Tell everybody a little bit about yourself, how you got started into real estate, where you're from, and just a little background about you.
Sure. I'm going to share the screen real quick because it's got some information on it. So let me get.
Right. Let me make you the host first, then hold on. There you go.
Okay.
Can you do it without making you first?
Should be fine. Yeah, I should be able to share you the second.
All right, cool.
Desktop. So you should be over here and see all that. Let's see. All right.
You have an impressive array of screens behind you, fam. Like,
thanks. That's a little project that I started working on when I was doing cryptocurrency back in the day, and I decided to move past that because it was just way too risky. And believe it or not, real estate investing is a lot less risky than cryptocurrency because that has no rhyme or reason. At least with real estate, you can actually go in and predict, how the market's going to be moving. Well, as you see, the current trends. So I'm just going to share the next slide. So my background, I've been doing IT. I first started on a computer when I was 3 years old. My dad was in IT. So I've been around computers all my life, but I've been getting paid for it for the past about 12 years. And I started off as an Apple consultant. I used to work at the Apple store. And when that didn't work out, having a job where if you're 3 minutes late, your pay's getting docked, or, you get fired after 3 times, that didn't work out for me. So I was about 19 or 20, and I just started getting jobs helping people with their Apple computers, their mobile devices. I worked with photographers, and mainly photographers in the beginning. But since then, in the past few years, I've gotten up to some high net worth individuals. I work for like the family that built the Brave Stadium, and their family built the Botanical Garden. And I had another client walking into $10, $20 million mansions for IT purposes. And I essentially became people's private IT, consultant, liaison. I helped them make their technology decisions so that when they went to invest into a new system, they were going to spend 10, 20, maybe even $100,000. They would ask me first. They say, hey, is this a good idea? Will this do what I need it to do? And does it, will it last for a while? And so I've been doing that for a while. One of my most notable clients is, she's not on here, but Monica. I do all the IT for Monica right now. And it's pretty fun to do that. And
Monica, like the one that be singing?
Shannon Brown, Monica, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's fun. It's always fun to go over there and help them out with stuff. I got a lot of toys I get to tinker with and help them with. But
they want to sell.
What's that?
Let's see if they got a house they want to sell.
See, I got a little bit of inside information. I can't share in the group just yet until I get it concrete. But let's just say there are some people in the league that are interested in getting real estate investing. They just don't know where to start.
There you go. Well, we got a group of some properties for them. So
yeah. But yeah. I mean, so I just started real estate investing about 6 months ago. I have not done my first deal yet because I've been taking it a little bit different. I've been working on making technology do the work for me. So I'm doing all the legwork now, and I've been doing it in the spare time from my day job to build a system so that, I get web leads, I get bot leads, which means Facebook auto bots that'll post on Facebook for me and bring me leads and get funneled into my CRM. So all the technology, I've got this crazy like 20 service system and set up for the least amount of work. I want the most amount of money for the least amount of work.
Gotcha.
And with that said, what I'm going to be showing y'all today is just really the basics. It's like, how do you get started with having just some technology, at least make your business appear to be more professional, even though you're brand new? You could be the newest guy on the block, but if you got that domain, you got the email set up with that domain, when you have your business card, I actually check this. And I don't judge people. I just know that I could probably help them. But when I get a business card that says Gmail on it, you could be a millionaire or you could be starting off as a new person. And usually it's the latter. You're starting off and you haven't had the time, you don't know where to go to get your domain and to get your email set up properly so that you have, your name at your name investments or properties.com.
Okay.
So let's go to the next page. So we're going to talk about how to buy a domain, where you can buy a domain, what's the cheapest way to get them, and how to set them up. This is just a domain. I'm not talking about setting up a website. I'm just saying, hey, you're just getting the .com or the .co or .net, whatever you want to go with, and we're going to make it so that you can have it maybe forward to your Facebook group. So if you make a Facebook page for your company, so if you've got that branded page, you can forward it straight to there, and then so you can set up your email. So I have a domain. I have about 10 domains right now that if you type the domain in, it loads and it goes straight to Facebook. It just automatically is a forwarder. Second part is, how do we get that domain hooked up to your email? How do we get it so that you can check and send email from your domain to other investors and to whoever you need to? So you just have that professional first impression. The third part is how to do that on your mobile device. As you can probably tell, I'm an Apple guy, so I'm going to show it on the iPhone. With Android, if you've ever added email to an Android, it's pretty straightforward. It's pretty similar. And then the last part is just going to be a Q&A. You guys can ask me any questions you want. I actually have it where you could technically ask me questions as we're going along, and I can answer them. If you go to the URL at the top, the goo.gl/slides/R3Z52T. If you go to that URL, that's a part of the Google Slides service. You can actually start asking questions while I'm going through the slides.
Okay. We can just put them in the chat too as well.
Yep, in the chat both, yeah. All right, so buying a domain. All these, I'm going to kind of go over the questions, and then I'll actually go to GoDaddy or the service I want to use and show you how to do it. And I might just buy myself another domain. I think I'm at like 75. It's kind of like a hobby for me now. The reason you need it is because you can then have that professional identity, that brand. It just adds one more, level of professionalism to make your company look more legit. And that's the biggest thing that wholesalers have. We're already in an industry that people doubt us. And they don't understand what's going on. So if you come in, you say, hey, I buy all these houses, and you put your personal email and it's like fluffy foo-foo 123 at Gmail, they're going to doubt you. They're going to, it doesn't make it as legit. But if it was Miss Sam or Miss Samuel at samuelproperties.com, it's a whole nother story. So how much does it cost? You can get a domain. If it's the first time buying a domain at GoDaddy, you can pay $2, like 200 pennies, $2. I mean, that's not too bad to have your own domain. If you've bought a domain, it's about $10 to $20, depending on how long you get it. And there's a thing, a lot of people, when they buy the domains, you don't have to get all the bells and whistles. You can just get the straight up domain, pay that $2, and that is actually all you're paying. I'll show you guys where we can buy one in just a second. TLD stands for top level domain. So a .com, a .net, .org, .ee, which is one I just found today, is called a top level domain. And that's the ending of your URL. So a lot of people think, oh, I have to have a .com. Well, if your name is, James Adams, that's a pretty common name. Chances are that's going to be taken, or if it's for sale, it's going to cost 5 or 6 figures. Some domains sell for 7 figures, which is crazy to think about, but Cars.com did. And so you can get creative. So like, let's say my business partner loves tacos. So if this was available, he could get ta.co, because .co is a top level domain. Most likely a taco company of some sort already owns it, so he's out of luck. And then what we'll do is we can figure out some of the best ways to make a good name. One thing I do when I name a company, I actually look up the domain name first to see if it's available. I will actually look up and test all the combinations of the names I'm thinking of until I find a domain name that's a really good domain name, and then, hell, I'll make my company around that name, or I'll name my company that. So I can show you guys some of that. I have a lot of domains that are good examples of that, where their words or just combinations that I would have been really hard to try to come up with if I came with the company name first. So it's a little bit backwards thinking, different for some people. But yeah, let's go into GoDaddy. All right, so GoDaddy.com. I'm going to put it in the chat. I love them only for one thing, and that's domains. I wouldn't get it. I don't do the GoDaddy email, and I don't do the GoDaddy websites. They are cheap products, but you can get much better cheap products at another location without it being so technically, they're cheap, but they're not the best in terms of how easy they are to use. And then I've done a lot of technical support for clients that had GoDaddy emails. When you really start to use your email, if you start getting hundreds of emails a day, or even just a big flow, the GoDaddy email system is just a big pain for an IT person to come and like fix it. So I'm not a big fan of anything else on GoDaddy other than a domain. So let's see. I just put in a really, really long one. I don't want to buy your house. So Eric doesn't want to buy your house.com. It exists. So it's $2.99. The reason I said you can get it cheaper, there are actually, you can go in and if you type in Google GoDaddy coupons, there are like 99 cents. Okay. Let's see. So you can just quickly go in. You can look up some GoDaddy codes. One of them on here is a 99-cent code right here. First one, 99.com. This is your first code. So that's how you can get it for 99 cents. Save $2. All right. And let's go.
So for $2.99, you got that domain for the year?
For 1 year. Actually, it says right here for the first year with a 2-year registration, but with the other code, I'm going to add it real quick, and I'm going to put the other code in. And I don't remember off the top of my head because I haven't been able to use this code for years since I buy domains quite often. So I'm going to add that to my cart. Here's the thing. You don't need privacy protection. You don't need it until you're starting to do a lot of business. When you do need privacy protection, you feel like, hey, I got to cover everything. You can go and add it at any time. You can actually add it. Just go in the dashboard, boom, $10. You've got privacy for that year. But just to get your domain, to get that email going, no one knows your domain's out there. No one knows anything about it. So I always say no, don't do this free website. It gets you sucked into their web builder, which is just crap. And then you don't need them to do the email address. All right. So let me put in, actually.
Jasmine has a question, says, so I can move my domain to another vendor?
Yes, yes. So you can transfer your domain to other vendors. GoDaddy does have a transfer fee to transfer domain in. I believe it's about $10. I'm not sure if there's a code out that you can use or some coupon that'll like make it lower, but you can use it to go in there. The thing is, one thing with GoDaddy is it is cheap in the beginning. The first year usually is the cheapest. You're talking $2, $3. When you start to add on those extra years, if you don't use a coupon in the beginning, it can get pricey depending on how many domains you have and if you have privacy. But if you only have a base domain and you buy it just for the first year just to get started, it should be like $2.
Right.
After that, it goes up to like $10 if you renew in 2-year increments instead of just one. If you do one, I think it's like 16. And that's kind of the pricing for domains across the whole web. Every year after you do the first year, you're looking at $15, $16, $17.
Okay, cool.
Great.
So if you guys have questions, just put it in the chat. I'll monitor the chat if you have questions. All right.
All right. So 117, 1 year for first domain using that promo code I Googled.
So there's no reason not to have your own
A domain
for $1.17.
Mm-hmm.
Got it.
All right. So I'm going to sign in real quick. Just take a moment. I'm actually going to buy it because we have to go into, well, I take that back. I'm not going to buy that domain. I have so many extra domains. I can just sign in and I'll just show one of my spare ones on how to set it up as an email or how to set it up as a forwarding so that you can say your domain, Eric doesn't want to buy houses.com goes to my Eric doesn't want to buy houses Facebook. So let's hear it. Let's go to my account. Got a lot of old domains. Let's see.
Um, I always forward my domains. Sorry, one more question. So there's no way to be a permanent owner of a domain, so I don't have to pay the annual charge.
No, there is no way. It's not like buying a physical computer, a physical device. It's a service-based thing. There's an internet organization that you essentially lease and buy your domains. It gets registered there. If you don't pay the registry that holds the registrar that holds your domain, if you don't pay your yearly fee, they can release it and someone else can buy it.
Gotcha. Terrence said, what's the promo code? Was it CCJ? What was it again?
I just pasted it in the chat.
Oh, you did it faster than I could even type it. Okay, there you go, Terrence.
Okay, so what I'm doing right now is once you own a domain, you'll be able to get to this page in your dashboard for GoDaddy, and it has all these different options. It has manage connection. I have some contact info. When will it renew? And what you want to do is you would actually click on manage DNS right here. And manage DNS, what it does is it lets you forward. So this forwarding section, this is where you could go. You would click the domain, and you can essentially tell it where you want to go. So I technically had this domain for sale for like 100,000. I'm hoping Apple will buy it because it's Thunderbolt 4 and they own Thunderbolt 3. I figured I might beat them to the punch. But,
smart.
So Thunderbolt 4 should go to its for sale page. Yeah. So that's a forwarding, and I have no website. I don't have a web host. I don't have a web builder, anything tied to it. I just have that domain going to another place because you get your domain for $1.17. You set it and forward it to Facebook, to your Facebook page. Boom, you're done. Now all you got to do is worry about getting your domain hooked up with your email.
Okay.
And if anybody's interested, it's only $100,000.
So just real quick. So to recap what you just did there, you're basically forwarding that domain. So the domain is the actual name or address, the .com that we place into the not the search bar, but the what's the thing at the top here? I'm trying to use my computer here. Can you see that?
The URL.
The URL. And so when someone does that, you're just telling it that you want them to go to a specific space, and that specific website in their case was Facebook.
Yeah. So all we're doing to skip the part of having to actually build a website, or at least hold off on that, all you're doing is you're buying that domain, which is think of it as a street address. Yep. And normally your website would be the house you build on that street address. But all we're doing is we're setting up a forwarder to forward the mail, or in this case, people who are going to your street address to another street address. And say, hey.
So guys, what I want you to understand is what he's basically showing you how to do. So if you don't want to build a whole website, you can build a business, and everybody should be thinking about building a business Facebook page for your business, your wholesaling business or real estate business or whatever business you're in. So when you do this, you can forward it to your Facebook fan page or business page, and then place your real estate stuff there. So that's how I just want to be able to connect the dots on how you can use that. Use what he's talking about for wholesaling or real estate purposes.
Here, what I could do is just show you how to get your group name. So when you start a new group, you actually can't choose your own Facebook or start a new page. You actually can't choose your own Facebook group name. It'll take the name of what your company is, but it's not going to allow you to actually change it if you wanted to make it shorter, or if you needed to add stuff to it, until you have about, I think it's like 50 or 100 fans and followers.
Okay.
Just give me one second.
It just needs to wait until you grow it a little bit.
Mm-hmm. So what'll happen is if you make a page and then you buy a domain, you're just going to have to set the forward up twice. You'll have the forwarder that'll point to the temporary Facebook group and Facebook page URL, and then it'll actually go in and you'll have to update it to the shortened version or whatever, the new version, once you have enough followers.
Gotcha. But
All
I'm
right.
pretty sure everybody has at least 50 people on their Facebook, their private Facebook page that they could forward there.
All right.
I know that guy.
Which one? Oh, that guy right there. Third story down.
Yeah.
So what I wanted to point out is, if y'all look, this page is new. We made it last month, and my URL has all these numbers after it. This is actually the part that you're going to copy, is all the numbers all the way up to the HTTPS. That is the code, or I guess the URL that you would tell your GoDaddy forwarder. So we're going to go back. I went back to the beginning. Y'all won't have as much on your dashboard, because it'll only be one domain or maybe two if you bought another one. But you're generally going to see the same layout and the same dashboard. So
Jasmine said, could I run ads from my Facebook page that I forward my domain to?
yes, I mean, if you're trying to get them to your Facebook page so it depends. If you're running ads on Facebook and you're trying to get people to go to your Facebook page for your business, then yeah, you can say, hey, here's an ad, Jasmine's, property company, and then you click .com in the ad, you click it, and then it just loops all the way into Facebook, or it goes back to Facebook. The only thing is, at that point, since you're not doing any analytics, since you're not tracking and trying to count the number of people that are coming and going to your website, it might just be better just to link straight to your Facebook page,
Gotcha.
because at that point it's a little redundant.
Gotcha.
Right. So I'm just going to go down real quick, and I'm going to change this Thunderbolt 4 forwarder to my Facebook group for Corey International. So that is the URL. So they actually want you to do the URL. It already has the HTTPS, so you would only be pasting everything after the HTTPS. So just the www and whatever else is there. So now when I update that, I go to bolt4.com. It should just forward straight back to Facebook instead of that other page. And it's it's an instantaneous update. So before it was going to a for sale page, and now it's going to the Corey group.
Nice.
All right. What we're going to do next is I'm going to show how to set up an email with that new domain that you just bought. They do cost money. There is no true free email setup that is going to let you use a custom domain, which is what we're using. Whenever you make a domain or buy a domain that's considered custom, it's no longer part of that free service like Hotmail or whatnot, or Gmail's free service. You have to pay to have it attached to those accounts.
Okay.
So one thing, if it's in your individual budget, one thing I would recommend, because I personally use it, is Office 365. If you pay for the version that gives you access to Microsoft Excel, Word, PowerPoint, and Outlook, that's really helpful. They're really good business tools. Everybody knows about Excel. You can use free ones like Google Drive and Sheets and Docs. But if you want to actually use the full programs, paying the extra monthly fee with Microsoft Office not only gives you a chance to use your own email, custom domain, you get to use all the programs. And then they have it where they have monthly. So if you want to do for personal, you can just select personal. It's $7 a month. And then they have the option to add the email to it. So let's see. It's been a minute since I set up, since I actually I see a different. So there's the email hosting. All right. So you would actually have to use the business one, which ends up being about $12.50. And this is actually new. Right here, I didn't notice this. They're supposedly offering a free domain. So instead of spending $2 at GoDaddy, you might be able to get a free domain using Microsoft Office.
Saving that $1.90 or whatever it was.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing is you do have to agree to a year of Microsoft Office to get that.
Gotcha.
So so it's $12.50 essentially with the annual commitment. If you don't want a commitment, you're looking at about $15 a month, but that's email and all of the Microsoft Office programs. And the beautiful thing is it's not just one machine. It's up to, per user, I believe it's 2, possibly 3 machines. That it could be a Mac and a PC, or you can have a desktop or at work, or you can, if somebody else in your family needs Office, you can actually sign up for $15 and have it on your machine and on their machine. Now you got 2 people with Office for $15 a month. So let's see. I'm trying to remember. I have a more advanced admin version. So let me see if I can do this on this end to do our quick test. All right. So I'm just going to put one of my emails. So you would have, first off, you would set up an account for using the Office 365. The biggest thing is you want to make sure you select the Office 365 Business Premium.
Okay.
All right, so let's see.
So what are we doing here? We're setting this Office 365 up so we can get this email.
Mm-hmm. So we can set up the email, because I have a different interface to set up the email, since I actually set up a bunch of emails for other clients. So if I show anybody that, it's not going to look, it looks different. And just want to make sure that I can just show you where you would put the information. And what's really nice is GoDaddy and Office actually talk together. So all you would have to do is put in your GoDaddy login, and it'll ask you which of your domains in your account do you want to use. So it's not actually really complicated. You just have to get to that part where you add a domain, and then you're good to go.
Okay. So all this is basically the reason why that he's going through this is just to make yourself look more professional, right, in your business.
So the option you would select in this instance is use a domain name you already own. So I'll just put Thunderbolt 4. And it says, hey, it looks like it's already a GoDaddy domain. So in this step, you would say sign into GoDaddy. It would ask you to authorize GoDaddy so you can go in. And then once you've signed in, it gives you the option to create your first email account and user ID using your new domain. So, I mean, it pretty much does all the legwork for you. Once you say, hey, yep, GoDaddy, talk to Office, you guys are friends. We'll just put Eric. Yep, well, save it to my password manager. So the process for Office is just slightly different than Google. Google will actually, we're going to have to hold off. I was going to show Google the same process for Google, but we'll just do one for today. Yeah. And then I'm just going to put this in here real quick. All right.
So you're actually going to buy this one here?
Yeah, because I'm going to go to customer support and cancel it later because I don't need it. I have 9 email accounts in Office for the 3 different brands and domains that I have. All right, just give me 1 second to. One thing I'm going to do real quick. All right. Just need to pause that before I put all my credit card number and the rest of it. All right, there we go.
All right, so yeah, Sean, yes, it is recording. It is recording, so you can definitely will have it later. So we're getting this set up, and we're gonna have the emails talking with the websites and all that stuff is gonna look good. What's gonna be the next process after this?
Next process would be to make sure you can check your email on your phone. And what's great is once you've got your email set up, all you have to do at this point is go on your iPhone or go on your Android, and just like you add any other email, there should be an option that lets you select an office email. And if you select that office email, and then as soon as you type in your email, it already knows, it knows it's Microsoft, you've selected it. Once you put in your password, it just syncs everything. I mean, it's pretty straightforward. If you did your email using some other third-party service or like Godaddy, you actually have to put in a whole bunch of information. It doesn't pre-populate and it doesn't make it easy. You actually have to follow like 10 steps on their website. But if you do Office or you do Google, those 2 services are like the simplest way to get your email, your business email, set up on your mobile device in like 2 minutes, maybe 3.
Okay, cool. All right, so I want to kind of turn into more wholesaling. So we got this set up where we have our ability to to look a little bit more professional and draw and when people email us, they have a really solid email and they get that notification on their phone. How are you using some of this technology to drive deals or drive traffic to you? So I remember we were talking on the phone. You had some interesting things you were doing that were driving traffic to you.
Yeah. So a nice thing about having your own email domain is you can make more emails using that domain. So when you want to start segmenting and splitting up the data or the emails coming into your business, you can have an info@yourbusinessname.com, thunderbolt4.com, or you can have sales or leads. So that's why when I mentioned earlier that I have 9 email addresses, I have 3 emails per domain and per brand of my companies. So I have a sales, I have an info, and then I have my own. I have sales, and actually there's a really nice, it's a little bit more of an advanced thing, but you can add, they're called aliases. So sales, if you send an email to sales@Thunderbolt4, or leads or anything related to sales, I made all the different keywords that people could potentially, send a deal to, deals@Thunderbolt4. Go into one location because of the aliases. So that's one way. By having that custom domain, I have one dedicated mailbox for that type of information, deals, leads, sales, deal finders, whatever I want, I put them all in that box. Then I have the info, and that's everything else, just general inquiries. That's maybe where we sign up social media accounts. So I don't have to sign up with my own name. It's more of a shared mailbox for when with my business partner. So Nick has access to it. And in the future, we will have employees that have access to it because they'll be looking at that email to figure out, what this email is about. So using custom domains helps you segment or compartmentalize your what's coming in so that you can manage it. So you don't have 100 emails in one mailbox, you have 33 here, 33 there, and 33 there, however you split it. And because of that, I have other tools that I use that I actually have it where some of the data that goes into one specific box, let's say the info, I have some other web services online. It's called Zapier, and Zapier is like a Swiss Army knife. If it plugs into a service you use and it plugs into another service you use, some way you can get them to talk to each other and send the data from here to here. Even though
Zapier, Z-A.
Yeah, I'll put it in. So Zapier is, they have a free version that lets you test it out and kind of like figure out what you want to do. But if you start doing a lot of these zaps, is what they call them, there is a monthly fee. I think it's $25 for the next level up. So I have about 25 zaps that do everything from, I have a deal finder program using Deal Machine, since it's the best driving for dollars app out there. So if you go to one of our domains, you will sign up to Deal Machine. Deal Machine will send me an email with your email and your first and last name. And I have a zap that'll take your name, take your email, because Deal Machine doesn't have a Zapier, but because it has an email that it sends out, I can actually take the data from the email and put it into my Hubspot. And then
what's Hubspot?
HubSpot is a CRM, and CRM, when you guys start getting a lot of sellers, or actually when you start building your buyers list and you start building your network with deal finders and attorneys and all the people necessary to be on your team, a CRM or a customer relationship manager is essentially just a place to put all that data and for you to tag and identify and label individuals so that when you're searching for them or organizing your data, you can do it visually. And HubSpot's free. I have 5 HubSpot accounts because the free one does not.
Let's put that in the chat. So Zapier is what? Zapier.com. So that way people can get a hold of that, and HubSpot. So CRMs are once you guys are really, really scaling, right? Once you're scaling, you're definitely gonna need a good CRM to help you manage all of that data, when you should call and when you shouldn't. HubSpot is apparently somewhere that will do that for free. And then you said the other one is Zapier. What is the website for that? Zapier.com. Is that what it is?
Yep. I just dropped it in.
I don't see it.
Sorry, I accidentally was sending it to Sean privately. There we go. Somebody messaged me, so I got switched over to them. But those are the 2 URLs right there.
Got you. Cool. All right. So you're getting these. So you got Deal Machine set up. Walk me through that real quick, and then we'll open this up for Q&A, because I think what you guys were doing with that, that there was it's a pretty ingenious way of driving in some traffic.
Okay. Yeah. Real quick, I just sent you a message just to make sure. So I have this information. So for the Deal Machine, one of the ways, what I can do really quickly is just show like a picture, like what Zapier is, and without going through it. Just like here's what it is. When you're ready to get to that point, you at least have an idea of what you're looking at.
Eddie, when we get to when he gets done with this, Eddie, I'll bring your question up.
All right, so what I'm going to do, I'm just going to pull up one Zap. Zapier you can do simple things. So like Deal Machine actually has in their settings, when you go onto Deal Machine's website, they actually have 3 ways for you to use Zapier, and they show you and tell you how to do it. One of them is instant SMS message. So when you enhance search somebody, if there's a phone number that gets pulled up, it will actually send them a text. So as I enhance search my finds on Deal Machine or my deal finders, 60 all over the US, the moment I enhance search, I send them a text with information and a number to call and their address, or I send them an email with that same message if they find an email. And the way that works is it works with Zapier being plugged in. So Deal Machine has some built-in stuff. So I have a lot of things going on here. The simplest thing to look at is I just like to sync one piece of data to another. So what it does is it says, where is the data coming from? Like, where's the data coming from? HubSpot. Where's it need to go? Google Sheets. And that's the simplest way. What it does is I have it set up so it cleans it up a little bit more. So it doesn't, you can do it really easily, or you can be a perfectionist, and I'm a perfectionist. So, but it does all these different things where it says, hey, there's an email, continue if this email says it's Bob, take the email out of Bob's account and then clean it up a little bit and then put it into Google Sheets in the end. So a lot of different pieces of information. I like to track a lot of data. My company is very data oriented. A lot of this stuff is you might never really need. You can completely make a very successful business without any of this. This is just how I like to do things and the type of data I like to collect, because I like to find out what are some of the things that you can't really see day to day that only numbers can show you.
Gotcha.
But yeah.
Perfect. All right, cool. Let us open up to Q&A. We can go back to just the general screen there, or we can see people's faces. Anybody have any questions? How do we get out of this into the, we can go ahead and open up any questions. Can you take us out of the view on your screen here, Eric?
Yep. Let me switch you over.
Sometimes people will raise their hand virtually on here and I can't see. I have to keep scrolling back and forth. So that was a lot of information, a lot of questions. Appreciate that, Eddie. I got you. And Kiana says, love Zap here. So Eddie says, why did you have to have 5 different HubSpots? Is it for different businesses or what?
For me, you can have one HubSpot. You can have one HubSpot that has all of your data. The only thing I found out is I built a form for buyers to fill out that had every single thing that they could request, like if they like commercial, if they like residential. So because of that, my buyers HubSpot is very, very specific with the data that it shows and the labels that I've created. Those labels are for buyers. So if I have my deal finders that are running in under our deal machine account, that HubSpot links with the buyers, then I'd have, let's just say 40 or 50 fields I'd have to show for every single person, every single time. But if I have separate CRMs, in my case, which is a very unique case, I only have to show like the 10 for deal machine and the maybe 40 I do want for the buyers. And then I have it where I have, a sellers one where it might be like future sellers. They might be institutional or sellers of portfolios. And then I have service providers, all the people that we may be doing business with that could help us. And my business, I'm trying to grow my business to be nationwide. I wanted it to be a national business. So I figured I need to have these HubSpots ready to go. So as I do grow, I just throw them in there and, manage that data that way. I would not recommend it though. It's just, it works for me and it works for my automation. It might be better to have maybe 1 or 2 and, depending on what type of data you're looking for when you're asking people, what do you like to buy? You don't have to be as specific. I like to ask questions.
Okay. All right. Let me see. He says, David asks, how does Deal Machine help with buy or seller? So David, Deal Machine is going to help you locate or attract sellers. So basically, Deal Machine is an app where you're just going to drive around. You'll park your car in front of an abandoned property or any property for that matter. It uses GPS tracking, geolocation. You basically will hover over that house, and then you can hit a button and you can either choose to send out a mailer to the owner of that house with a picture. So you can take a picture of it and it'll send it out a mailer with the picture on it. Or you can choose to do like what they call a deep search, which is basically skip tracing, and it'll give you their phone number. So that way you can call them, okay? You can use deal machines. You can use them also to find buyers. It's just that typically they're used to find sellers. So another example, today we were doing some driving for dollars and then I saw somewhere a guy was working on a house. I got out and I knocked on the door, got his phone number. Well, you could do the exact same thing because someone actually bought that house, right? And we see that they're working on it. So whoever bought it is the person who's trying to flip it. Hopefully they're listed already and we can try to look them up. Okay. Okay, cool. They didn't, Eddie, no, this is private, so it's cool. I got you. Anything else? That process that you guys, when you have your deal finders, or a lot of times we call bird dogs. Explain that process on how they find properties, they use Deal Machine, and then all that information is sent over to you. Because I think that would help out with a lot of people. Think about this, guys. So we talk about knowing your KPIs, knowing your numbers, your key performance indicators, right? The things that run your business, like how many times do you have to pick up the phone and call someone before you get a deal? How many appointments do you need to go on before you actually make some money, right? I tell people all the time, when I first started, I didn't have a lot of money, so I did a lot of driving for dollars, and that's what works for me, right? And so I know my numbers for that. I know if I do 100 abandoned properties, I'm gonna get about 2 to 3 of them. Now, maybe yours is something different, but if you want to use a driving for dollars, if I want to do more than 2 to 3, then I just got to figure out how do I scale that. And one way that we can do that is through using other people's time, energy, and efforts, right? And so, Eric, can you talk real quickly about how you're using other people's time, energy, and effort?
Okay, yeah. So Deal Machine has 2 levels. You have the base level. So when you first sign up, it's $50 a month. After, I believe it's 2 weeks, or is it first month? I don't remember what the trial period is, but it's $50. The second one is called the Enterprise. And when you get to the point, it's $200 a month, but it allows you to have a sign-up page that they generate. They'll make it for you, a web page, to let other people sign up under your account to be your bird dogs. So some of the things that we did is I created some videos. I bought a bunch of domains, and these things that we were able to do allowed people who lived in different states all over the US that were just friends or people in groups to sign up. The one thing I would definitely recommend, if you get to the next level and you got the enterprise plan and you're trying to build an army of bird dogs, you need to have a bird dog agreement. I have a bird dog agreement and I'll share it. It was really hard to find it, but this should cover pretty much everything you need. The thing is, my payment terms might be different than yours. We were offering $500, $1,000, or $1,500 for the properties, depending on how much we got as our assignment fee. Deal Machine just makes it super easy where I go to sleep right before I go to sleep, I'll get a little ding from Deal Machine on my phone, and it'll say 30 properties added today, 10 by Mike, 10 by Sally, 10 by, Bria.
Now, are you being charged for them adding those properties? Are they actually sending out?
$0. They're not paying, and I'm not paying extra. What I do have to pay for is that deep search, skip tracing, the enhanced search that is in Deal Machine. The way Deal Machine makes money is when you search for things, you pay for credits, and they get those credits, as well as if you decide that, oh, look, I have good info, I've got 5 addresses of this absentee owner, let's just hit them all up. Then you can actually send those postcards, and that's the second thing that you pay for outside of the subscription. So, but for bird dogs, they don't have to pay anything. You don't have to pay anything other than the $200 a month that you're paying to have unlimited bird dogs.
Got you. And yeah, you can post a link. I've actually sent that to someone else. This thing is confusing when people send you private messages and then you're thinking that you're responding to one person. And
yeah. When you respond, it switches to somebody else.
Yeah.
So that was odd. So I just posted a link to my Deal Machine. It actually gives you 5 credits, which is it's $5. $5 free. You can use the $5 free credit in the trial on Deal Machine. So you can do just Deal Machine in the trial and cancel if it's something that might be out of your budget, but you get 5 extra searches. So you might find 10, 15 properties, and at least 5 of them for free are going to be. You can skip trace them and get the info to call those owners. If you're interested in, some people actually, they want to become real estate investors, but they also know that they might go after a certain type of house, and the houses that they might find in Deal Machine, there might be some houses that they're like, I'm not going to go after these. I'm going to go after townhomes or quadruplexes or duplexes, right? Mm-hmm. If you wanted to be a bird dog, I actually have a link that I'm going to put in there. It's www.beadealfinder.com. I'll put that in the chat. And what happens is, you get invited to my deal machine. And the thing is, you can actually, if you're interested in just seeing how Deal Machine works without getting in a trial, you can use that. If you send me any properties, great. If not, if you just want to use it to use the app, that's fine too. Just let me know, and then I'll take you out the account, and you can go and make your own account. But yeah, some people just being a bird dog is great because they're going to find their deals on like for sale by owner leads on Craigslist and Zillow, and then they're not going to really do driving for dollars. That's just not what they want to do. And if you end up doing it, you can still make some money without having to do the follow-up.
So you got somebody doing for sale by owner or driving for dollars, or however they find these leads. They go log in through Deal Finder, but it's your company's Deal Finder. They enter that lead, right? You get a notification at night. You got 40 leads for today. You go ahead and do the rest of the work of following up, skip tracing, everything else, right? Yep. Everything else from that point. But you're spending your time on finding and setting appointments versus going out to find the lead. How does the person who sends you that lead, how do they know that, hey, Eric did get this lead and close, but how do they keep track of that? How do they know where in the process that particular house that they sent you lies?
Yep. So within Deal Machine, I've actually been talking to the developer. His name is David Lecco, and there are two statuses. I can trash a deal if it's a bad deal, or I can say that we want it. To take it out of my list of properties that are costing me money every month to send postcards, that status will get updated and let you know and say, hey, the deal has been won. But the other thing that we do is the moment you sign up and you give us your email, I actually set up with Zapier a email link so you can digitally sign the bird dog agreement. So we are under a binding contract for us to perform and to pay you for finding that property. That's the two ways they're working on. Deal Machine is actually going to come up with more statuses, so you can actually see that it's in. We sent out an offer. It's under contract. It's closing is in 10 days. All those things are about to be added to the program, so you can see every stage of it. But right now, we have to manually notify the bird dogs and the deal finders, what stage we are, or did we pursue any of theirs. And what we'll do is it's more or less, hey, we're going after a contract. I'm going to let the deal finder know that, hey, we're going after that. And if we, if we win it or if we don't, then they'll find out. The thing is, the ones that we don't do anything with, we don't notify because we're getting so many of them. But it is a manual process right now. We don't have it automated, and it's based on our agreement, our consulting agreement, that we will pay the amount listed depending on how much of an assignment fee we get. And then the moment we have it under contract, we have to reach out to them to get the payment info to figure out how they want, if they want the money wired or check or whatever it is.
Got you. Okay, cool. Eric, Victor asked, do you have an Instagram? Real quick before you answer that, Eric, guys, if you have questions, go ahead and ask them now. Put them in the chat or raise your hand in the Zoom so I can address you, and you can come off mute if you need to just ask it. Victor asked, do you have an Instagram account? You can type in, if you do, into the chat so other people can have it.
Yeah, I do. It's just my social media game is weak, so I've got it built, but I have nothing on there. We've been so busy with the other ones. That's one of the brands. We buy crappy houses will be one as well. And I think we'll eventually make one for Corey Corp if we haven't already made it. So those are our three brands that we have right now. We have a fourth brand that Nick worked on that we might, I guess, reveal later. But these are our three primary brands that we're working with. So
cool. All right. If anybody else has any questions, I guess someone was talking about your 7 screens there in the back. Those are not all for real estate, right? Those, you said those are Forex or for trading, right?
Yeah, they're all for real estate now. I repurposed them. They were for cryptocurrency, and for the top 4 were for monitoring cryptocurrency and IT clients, like their systems. But now when I'm working on it, it's actually 2 separate Mac minis that are like back there tied together. And I just have software that lets you use one mouse for 2 computers on 7 monitors.
Wow.
And it's a sit-stand workstation, so if I want to sit down, I can move it all down. I think it might be the first in the world that has that many monitors.
Wow. Well, we're gonna wrap this thing up. I was looking into Salesforce for a CRM. Okay, well now you found something else. That's awesome. Yeah, Salesforce is, yes, it is. So, real recap. Number one, being able to set up your domain name, knowing how to do that, and then forwarding it to a Facebook page. That right there is something that everybody should take action on, because you can use Facebook and your Facebook page. Think about this. You have this domain name, you forward it to your website, right? Or your Facebook page, all right? That works both ways, right? So if you're adding content, like right now, what I do is I add content via Instagram. My Instagram automatically sends content to my business Facebook page. So it does it automatically. So I only have to do one post from Instagram and it's going to go into my Facebook page and it's going to add things. So as I take pictures, if I take pictures of a particular house, that's going to add to my Facebook page. It's just going to make, when people research me, it's going to make me look more credible. So you all should be doing that. All should be doing that, because at some point your Facebook page is going to grow enough where people are going to contact you based off of that. And you could literally get deals just from posting stuff. I think everybody here probably posts more selfies than they need to, post pictures that can actually make you money. Okay. So that's that. And then we talked about how they're using different softwares like HubSpot, Zapier, how we link those together so that there's a little more cohesion with the different softwares, correct? And using Deal Finder and bird dogs, or whatever you want to call them. I call them bird dogs. Using these bird dogs to help you find properties, them going out there and driving around, or finding them on for sale by owner, or however they do it, and getting those alerts sent directly to you, so you can spend the time just doing the research on them and making those phone calls and setting the appointment. Lastly, I like to talk about one thing I heard you and Nick talking about, was just kind of like a guerrilla marketing gangster style, where you guys would go through crowds, right? They literally go through crowds. But if you got an Android, number one, you're a bad person. You shouldn't have one anyway. But if you have an Apple, I love you. And you can just go ahead and walk through the crowd. And you guys, what do you guys tell everybody what you guys do with your Apple when you go through a crowd?
Real quick, I'm actually going to pull up the photo on my phone and just show. So what we're doing is we're airdropping stuff. We are walking through crowds, and I will make specific. Actually, I got to disconnect this headset. Let's see. Can you still hear me when I?
Yeah. Well, no, I can't now. No.
That is.
Oh, okay. Is your house a piece of crap?
Yep.
We buy crappy houses, and then the phone number. We buy. I can't see the end of it.
Turds.
Yeah, we buy turds.com. Okay.
So I can go in and just airdrop it. So I'm going to do the airdrop. So if people were here, I have myself showing up as my airdrop. You can select a photo and just airdrop people in crowds, and hope that they don't notice, they don't see you, and you can run away. Because we were wearing the same shirt that we were airdropping the signs, and people started noticing. So we were on our little, was it bird scooters, and we just scooted away.
Oh man. So you guys are doing this like at Super Bowl or something like that, right?
Yep. We did this at the Super Bowl. I realized I'm actually really shy, and I made 1,000 cards, like same day order of that. We buy crappy houses, and the other side was Deal Finder. I was like, I just don't like giving cards to people, but everybody has their phone out, and I feel less bad about that.
So you literally just go through, you just airdrop random people. You just never know, right? This is all fishing, right? This is not a single lure fishing. We're out there with long lines, trollers, just out there trying to cast as many hooks as possible into the water. And man, what does it take for you while you're at the mall, while you're walking around, just to have your phone out and just airdrop, right? If they don't like it, they don't have to accept it. If they want to sell their house, though, that could be an airdrop that you did and make you $10,000.
Yep. So real quick, I just want to point, only one person accepted it out of the whole time we did it. But everyone saw it. When you airdrop something, it shows you what it is. My word of advice is don't airdrop the same people over and over, because then it's like you can do it where it's guerrilla marketing and it's just like a one time and you just kind of keep moving. But if you're sitting there trying to airdrop the same people to make them accept it, you're asking for trouble, because then it's on the line of harassment. One picture one time, yeah, it was an accident. Sorry, I didn't mean to tap everybody.
Yeah, cool. I'm gonna answer the last couple questions here. So you guys are using Facebook page as your website instead of having a website. You can. And I think if you're posting good quality content on a regular basis, I think that helps out, because everybody, your website is just another website. No one knows who you are, but everybody knows Facebook. Okay, and that's just a little more trustworthy. Can we have the domain to be forwarded to IG? Is it Facebook only? He says yes, you can. Airdropping LO. Okay, cool. So, and Victor thinks you're awesome. So hopefully this was helpful to you guys. A little bit different on the technology side. We didn't go deep into any like real estate, really heavy real estate concepts. This is all setting you guys up so that you're more proficient in your business. Hopefully saves you a little bit of money as well, and teach you a different side, and show you different things that you can do to be more proficient. So hopefully this was helpful, guys. I think we're pretty much wrapped up, man. Eric, man, it was a pleasure, man. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, man.
Hey, no problem. It was always I'm always happy to help.
Cool, man. And all right, guys. Well, that is it for this Sunday. We got our next call coming up on Wednesday at 7 p.m. Make sure you guys bring some questions. And if you did not do the homework, if you did not go find a RIA, if you did not do a meetup, make sure that you go ahead and do that. All right. Let's take our business seriously. I'm not just saying go on a meetup.com and find one. Like, actually contact the group. If you can make it, go out there and make some connections. I promise you that little time that you spend going out there, that if you, especially with the knowledge that you have through this course, you're going to stand out. I guarantee you're going to stand out. If anybody, Sean is a good example. Sean started going to these real estate meetups, and from the information that he's gotten from this course, he was able to stand out amongst the crowd, amongst the other wholesalers that don't know what the heck they're talking about, that have no clue what they're doing. They think they know what they're doing, and they get into a room of real estate professionals that do this for a living, and they get eaten alive. And Sean was able to kind of stand on his own too, because of the information that's in this course, and just because he's here constantly every Sunday, every Wednesday. Don't shy away from that. Go out there, get some buyers, get into the mix of these things, because that's the only way you're going to be able to get some deals done. We got to put ourselves out there. So make sure you guys do that. Take that seriously. And we're going to wrap this one up, and we'll see you guys on Wednesday. Love you all. Peace.